Majority Leader.
Mr. President, Senator De La Rosa is likewise seeking the floor. Move that he be recognized.
The gentleman from Davao, Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. President. I am given a fair warning by our chairman, and I am taking it seriously. Thank you, Madam Chairman, Mr. President. Mr. President, good sponsor, the Senate version of the 2025 GAB or GAB reflected an increase of 121.44 million for general administration and support for the budget of NBI. During the NBI's budget hearing, I remember that they manifested their desire to strengthen their cybercrime unit as well as their technical intelligence division, both of which work hand in hand in cybercrime case resolution. May we know for the record if the budget increase captured this particular direction of the NBI?
Yes, thank you for the question. We did increase it, at least here in the committee report, by 121.4 million pesos, because in relation to the prevention and investigation of cybercrime, the National Bureau of Investigation reported actual in expenditures. Furthermore, there had been allocations that designated for the conduct of operations pertaining to cybercrime cases. So, itong mga ito, marami din, at saka meron din silang coordination with the OSAIC CSAEM at mga anti-online sexual abuse operations, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President, Madam Sponsor. Well, thank you. Considering that considering the rampant and global threat of cybercrime, will the budget increase sufficient enough to make substantial changes to the current manpower and operations requirement of the cybercrime unit and the technical intelligence division of NBI?
Mr. President, it has increased compared to the past years, but of course, if we didn't have such limited fiscal space, we would definitely add more. On the other hand, there are also other government agencies that are tasked to cooperate with the NBI, particularly the PNP also has their own cybercrime unit. The ICT also has their own cybercrime unit that is also coordinating with the NBI.
Thank you, Madam.
And also the AFP.
Thank you, Mr. President, good sponsor. I would like to manifest my full support for the NBI, particularly in their efforts to improve their capability and strategies in combating the menace that is cybercrime. For this reason, I am advocating for a further increase in the NBI's budget, specifically directed towards strengthening their manpower and operations requirement. Thank you, Mr. President, good sponsor. My next question. Thank you.
Kukunin ko naman, you can propose the increase,
Yeah.
Mr. President, at proper time.
Thank you.
Care of Senator Bato de la Rosa.
Thank you, Madam Sponsor, Mr. President. My next question is about Bureau of Immigration, sir. Nung lumabas, Madam Good Sponsor, nung lumabas si former Colonel Ruina Garma from the Philippines, aware ba ang Bureau of Immigration noon na lumabas siya?
Mr. President, that's also the reason why we knew exactly where she was. There was a secondary inspection done, but since there's no lookout bulletin, walang whole departure order sa kanya.
Wala nga
Nakaano
whole departure order, pero ito lang ba, tanong ko. I'm sure mga BI personnel are aware that Colonel Garma was under the custody of the House of Representatives because of her being cited in contempt. Alam ba ng Bureau of Immigration at that time na lifted na yung citing in contempt ni Colonel Garma?
Yes, because when they did the secondary investigation, they were not able to verify any lookout bulletin or any order for her to be detained.
So I take it to mean, Madam, Mr. President, Madam Sponsor, that alam ng Bureau of Immigration na lifted na yung contempt orders ni...
Yes, Mr. President. They
Colonel
had to
Garma.
verify, kaya they called her aside to check, call, I guess, Congress to ask.
Okay, well, as of now, wala tayong control ngayon dahil siya ang US immigration, US authorities ang may hawak sa kanya. Pero as para sa, meron ba tayong matanong ba sa Bureau of Immigration kung meron ba tayong coordination sa counterpart natin sa US as to the timeline, kung kailan siya maibalik sa Pilipinas. Dahil yan lang inihintay ng ating subcommittee chairman, Senator Coco Pimentel, para sa ating second hearing dito sa Senado, kung andyan na si Colonel Garma maka-attend sa next hearing namin.
Actually, Mr. President, siguro nagkagulatan na, ay, hindi pa pala tayo nakakapag-issue ng tayo, or tapos na siya sa Congress, so siguro iniintay nila na tayo naman ang mag-i-issue ng invitation. On the other hand, her visa was canceled by the US, so now she's awaiting deportation.
Okay, may we know the reason why she was arrested? Madam President?
Her visa was recalled.
Recalled?
Her visa was canceled by the US. Undocumented, basically. So, is your question, Mr. President, why did they cancel her visa?
Yes.
It's the discretion of the U.S. government. Perhaps they did our work. They did something that we should have done.
Yes, because as far as I know, Mr. President, good sponsor, yung pagkansila ng visa ni Garma is parang noon pa yun, before siya before siya naging witness doon sa House of Representatives Quadcom. Pero bakit kaya insisting siya bumalik sa Amerika knowing that her visa was already canceled?
Because physically, she still had her visa. Maybe she took a chance na, kasi wala namang nakalagay na canceled dun sa niya. Basta there was just a statement that her visa was revoked. So, Mr. President, maybe she may have taken her chances na pagdating niya doon, hindi mahahalata. Either that, or maybe, I don't know, if she's applying for an asylum, di natin alam.
Take life yun, Madam President, Mr. President, no, good sponsor. Kasi I know that meron na siyang attempt na sumakay papuntang Japan, pero hindi daw siya pinasakay. So,